Before we go any further, if you value serious, well-researched history that still holds practical meaning today, subscribe now to History Matters. This channel is built for viewers who want to understand how the past actually worked, not how it is simplified. What follows is one of the most effective material preservation systems ever developed, created by Viking builders who depended on wood for survival in some of the harshest environments on Earth. Viking timber structures faced relentless enemies. Constant moisture, freeze-thaw cycles, salt air, insects and fungi all worked to destroy wood year after year. A failed beam or rotted plank was not an inconvenience. It could mean a sinking ship, a collapsed roof, or the loss of winter stores. Yet archaeological evidence shows Viking ships, halls, bridges and posts surviving far longer than untreated modern wood. This durability came from a deceptively simple method that combined material selection, fire, oil and intelligent design into a system that resisted decay generation after generation. Why, you might wonder, did Vikings treat wood as a living material rather than just a dead object? Well, the key to the Viking wood trick lies in how they understood timber. They didn't see wood as something to be sealed and frozen in time. Instead, they realized that wood breathes, moves, absorbs moisture, and releases it. Rather than fighting against this reality, they worked with it, embracing the natural qualities of timber. Modern sealants, you see, often fail because they trap moisture inside wood. When water gets in through a crack, it simply can't escape, and rot accelerates unseen. Viking builders, on the other hand, avoided this mistake entirely by creating wood that repelled liquid water, while still allowing internal moisture to migrate outward safely. Now, let's talk about how careful tree selection formed the first line of defence. Viking preservation began long before construction ever started. Builders selected slow-grown trees from cold climates, favouring pine rich in resin and dense oak with tight grain. This thoughtful approach made all the difference, really. Trees were felled during dormant seasons when sap content was lowest, reducing internal moisture and sugars that feed decay organisms. This practice alone dramatically increased longevity. In modern terms, it means choosing dense, high-quality lumber and avoiding fast-grown, moisture-heavy wood that depends on chemical treatment to survive. Why seasoning was a controlled process, not a waiting period. After felling, Viking timber was seasoned slowly in open air. Logs were stacked off the ground, protected from standing water and exposed to wind. This allowed moisture to equalize throughout the wood rather than drying only the surface. You know, unevenly dried wood cracks, traps moisture and, well, decays from within. Even today, properly air-seasoned wood consistently outperforms kiln-dried lumber in outdoor longevity when treated correctly afterward. The most powerful part of the Viking wood trick was honestly controlled charring. Surfaces exposed to ground contact, water spray or weather were lightly burned. This wasn't deep burning, but surface charring that altered the chemistry of the wood. Fire-closed surface pores killed insects and fungal spores, reduced the wood's ability to absorb water and created a carbon-rich layer that decay organisms simply cannot digest. Unlike coatings, this layer never peels. It becomes part of the wood itself. Modern applications are straightforward. Lightly char fence posts, garden bed frames, shed beams, or cabin sills until the surface darkens evenly. Allow it to cool, then brush away loose residue. This alone can, honestly, dramatically extend service life in wet environments. Why natural oils completed the preservation system. Charring alone was not the final step. Vikings applied penetrating oils and fats, including fish oil and rendered animal fat, to feed the wood after burning. These oils soaked into the charred surface and underlying fibres, filling capillaries that would otherwise wick water. This created a moisture barrier that repelled liquid water but remained breathable. Internal moisture could still escape as vapour, preventing rot from taking hold. Today, boiled linseed oil applied warm achieves a similar effect when reapplied, periodically. The critical lesson is maintenance. Vikings expected to re-oil exposed wood. Preservation was a relationship, not a one-time product application. Even the best-treated wood will fail if water is allowed to pool. Viking builders elevated structures on stone footings, used steep roofs, extended eaves, and shaped joints to shed water naturally. This ensured treated wood dried quickly after exposure. Modern builders can apply the same logic by improving drainage, increasing airflow, and avoiding flat surfaces where moisture lingers. This system worked because, every part supported the others. Good wood reduced moisture absorption. Seasoning stabilized the fibers. Charring blocked biological attack. Oils controlled water movement, and smart design limited exposure. Nothing was sealed shut. Nothing depended on fragile surface films. The result was wood that aged slowly, predictably, and safely. How you can apply this knowledge today. Choose dense lumber. Allow it to season properly. Use controlled charring on vulnerable areas. Apply penetrating natural oils generously and regularly. Design structures to shed water and dry fast. This is not folklore. It is field-tested engineering built by people whose lives depended on it. If this kind of historically grounded knowledge matters to you, subscribe to History Matters, share this guide with fellow history and survival enthusiasts, and help keep these proven methods alive long after modern shortcuts have failed.